So on this episode of Refine the Mind, I'm going to talk about how I do my equipment setup for these types of episodes. Welcome back to another episode of Refine the Mind. This video is going to be a little quick one on a quick topic that a friend of mine, Josh, requested. And basically it's going to cover what I use and how I set up my room to make these types of videos. So overall, it's actually quite a makeshift, like on the fly type of setup in a very messy room. You're going to see some rough ass equipment and just crap laying around, so bear with me. But it's quick, simple, gets the job done. So let's jump in. So the first thing I do is I close the curtain, turn all the lights off, and start in complete darkness. So I have two Yongnuo YN 362s, which I also use for a lot of my other videos. So I really love using these types of lights for fast setups and also run and gun situations. Oh my god, my eyes. What's really great about these lights is their versatility in terms of the colors, which you can do from like daylight, tungsten, RGB, and you can mix them up as well. So I have two of them set up right now, one just behind me on a Promaster light stand on a table, and basically it's just casting a cyan light on the back wall and acting as kind of like a soft backlight. And as you saw, I grabbed the light before, is just sitting on the windowsill and casting some daylight colored light as the key light. So much light in that sentence. So just next to me, sitting on my bag, leaning up against my other Promaster basic light stand, is the Glanz 5-in-1 reflector. So currently I have the silver side bouncing the key light onto my face to give some feel so that it's not so dark and shadowy on this side of my face. So for the sound, I'm using the Rode into USB, which you can see right here. So I just simply have the mic mounted on a tripod in front of me and connected to the GH5 with an aux cable so that I don't have to fiddle around with separate video and audio files. So as always, I use my Panasonic GH5 with my favorite lens, the Sigma 18-35 attached, and have the camera sitting on a tripod with the screen flipped out. I'm still really rough at these kind of videos, so if you see my eyeline kind of like wandering around, that's because I'm accidentally looking at the flipped out screen. So usually I like to shoot these videos in 1080p, but just for this one I'm shooting in 4K just to play around with some different settings. Even though the GH5 has 10-bit on it, I like to shoot these videos on 8-bit just because the file sizes are smaller, and these videos you're not really aiming for like top-end high quality visuals. I use the 10-bit for client projects and professional work. So usually it's not recommended to use Vlog in 8-bit, but I do it anyways because again, you're not really aiming for like the highest visual quality for these types of videos. And just personally, I like to play around with the coloring in post and try out different techniques and ideas. But honestly, shooting these in standard is perfectly fine as well. So yeah, that's basically it. I hope you enjoyed my messy room and my random setup. So I'll definitely be making a video about the lights I use because I think they deserve one. Again, they're very versatile, they're very robust, but I'll save it for the next video. Altogether, the equipment might seem a bit expensive, but individually, they're actually quite cheap for what they can do. I actually think it's much better to have basic equipment or none at all, because what it did for me was that it forced me to understand and learn about the basics and fundamentals, as well as how to adjust and adapt for the environment that I'm in. So yeah, last minute message, do the best with what you've got. Anyways, again, I know this episode was quite short, but I hope it could give you some insight into how I do my setup. Special thanks to Josh for bringing up this topic. If you do have a topic that you want me to cover, please let me know. I still have a list of all the topics that people have asked me for the last couple months, so I will get to those videos quite shortly. So this has been another episode of Refine the Mind. My name is David. Thank you all for stopping by, and I'll catch you all next time. That's it!